In a few days, the Flood Commission of Inquiry will hand down its interim report. But one community fears its concerns won't be adequately addressed. They're neighbours of the North Pine Dam at Whiteside, north of Brisbane. The area didn't get a lot of attention during the so-called Summer of Sorrow, but locals say they're living in an extraordinary situation. Kathy McLeish reports.
Belinda and Neil Begley say their life in the leafy North Brisbane suburb of Whiteside, on the edge of Lake Samsonvale and North Pine Dam, had been idyllic.
In previous times, we loved the dam. We were proud of the dam. It was our dam. But it's changed. I now see it as sort of some dark, gloomy monster sitting there waiting to sweep us all away.
Her fears seem well-founded because even before the Flood Commission of Inquiry reports, authorities are reviewing the flood preparedness of North Pine Dam. It's the only major dam in the state immediately upstream of an urban area. And when January's rain reached epic proportions, there was bound to be trouble. Jared Fernando's home is near the base of the dam wall. He says the morning of January 11 started pretty much like any other. It had been raining heavily for around 10 days, but there was no sign of imminent danger.
I went to work at 8:30. It wasn't that bad, but
as was the experience elsewhere, things were changing. A situation report by the Flood Operations Centre at midnight indicated all 5 gates of North Pine Dam were open and the dam level was falling slowly. As an extraordinary flood event rolled in, the centre continued to report on the rapidly changing situations at the Wivenhoe, Somerset and North Pine Dams. At 6 a.m, it reported the North Pine Dam level had commenced rising again. Between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m, already heavy inflows doubled. By 2:19 p.m, inflows and outflows were at record levels and increasing. Before the day was over, the flood event at North Pine Dam had been categorised as an extreme event in the order of 1 in 10,000 years, the largest flood recorded in the region. If the authorities were taken by surprise, the residents say they didn't stand a chance.
It took people totally by surprise.
By 10 a.m, the road to Jared Fernando's home had been cut by the rapidly rising floodwaters that were to inundate his and 6 other homes. He says they got no official warning.
I couldn't come home, and my wife was alone and no notification to anybody.
Couldn't get him on his mobile because there was no coverage. And I managed to get a line and then just told him, I'm in dire straits, get me help.
Belinda Begley says SMS messages were sent out to warn residents.
That was very piecemeal and quite ineffective. One of the main problems being that here in Whiteside we have very limited mobile phone coverage.
Residents were left to scramble for their lives, many driving through fences or using boats to get to safety. Neighbours say it was sheer luck there was no loss of life here, and while compiling their submission for the flood inquiry, found more frightening concerns. The North Pine Dam holds back 215,000 megalitres of water. It's a water storage dam, not a flood mitigation dam. So at full supply level, it's held at around 100% capacity. Rain in the catchment impacts the dam within 2 hours, leaving little time to respond if the inflows outstrip the capacity for outflow, as they did in January.
If you fill a cup with water and it's right to the top, if you put one more drop in it, it's got to overflow. And I would have thought that's so basically elementary And when they say they have to keep the dam at 100%, to do so is just inviting the same thing to happen again. This is a bomb waiting to explode.
The 2011 flood wasn't the first time dam authorities dealt with dangerous flooding at North Pine. In 1982, almost 20 years earlier, the water level rose before the gates could be opened and inundated the electric gate lifting gear. After that, Queensland's Director for Dam Safety, Peter Allen, said anyone who understood the site of the dam overflowing realised what a close-run thing it was to dam failure and were horrified. Residents say with the knowledge of 1982 in their minds, authorities should have been better prepared.
All of the people with the requisite technical expertise say that if a dam overtops, it can fail, it can collapse.
After this year's flood, Queensland Director for Dam Safety Peter Allen wrote, of the three dams, North Pine, Wivenhoe and Somerset, North Pine Dam was most at risk. The North Pine Dam spillway has a serious inadequacy which requires immediate review, and he raised concerns about the flood immunity of the electric opening gear. Local residents didn't want to wait for action. In May, 700 signed a petition calling on the government to immediately reduce the level of the dam. The Water Minister, Stephen Robertson, replied, saying he's waiting for recommendations from the inquiry into the Queensland floods, and the government will leave no stone unturned.
If the dam bursts, and we are told by experts that it's a significant risk, if that goes, it will take seconds, if not minutes, to wipe all of this suburb out.